Hi everybody, welcome to Monday's devotion. Today we're going to look at a tradition that started a long time ago in the temple, and it is in 2 Kings chapter 12, starting at verse 9. And it says this, Then Yehoiada, the priest, bored a hole in the lid of the large chest and set it on the right-hand side of the altar at the entrance of the temple of the Lord. The priest guarding the entrance put all of the people's contribution into the chest. Well, this is the temple treasury starting. And we know a story about the temple treasury in the New Testament. And that comes from we hear a lot of the widow's mite. Maybe we don't know what that is, but a mite was a very small coin and not worth like a penny today. Jesus, this is in Mark chapter 12, verse 41. It says, Jesus sat down near the collection box in the temple. That's the box we just read about. And watched as the crowds dropped in their money. Many rich people put in large amounts. Then the poor widow came and dropped in 2 small coins. Jesus called his disciples to him. You can see it. Come on over here, you guys. And said, I tell you the truth. This poor widow has given more than all the others who are making contributions. For they gave a tiny part of their surplus. But she, poor as she is, has given everything she had to live on. Well, this is Jesus pointing out that the widow who gave, didn't have much, but gave what she had. We wouldn't call this very good economics as far as taking care of your household. But Jesus is always concerned about your heart. He's not concerned about how much you give or what you're giving or how you serve or in what way you serve. He is concerned about your heart. Where is your heart? And he saw in this widow, in the mite that she gave, the little coin she put in that box, a little ting, whereas the rest were putting in coins and making lots of noise. He saw a heart that was devoted to God. And he points that out and says she gave more from her heart. Well, so how does that relate to today? Well, it certainly does. That tradition comes from a long tradition in the Old Testament where you give the first fruits of everything to God. Children, money, harvest, everything. The first part of that goes to God. I remember when I was in Elk Point at a little Bruley Creek Lutheran church. I was there in the summer and I was looking at the amount coming in each day, and it was nothing. It was like a few dollars, and I thought, how is this, each week I should say, how is this church going to make it? Well, it comes in October in something called Lord's Acre Day. I went out there to preach. I had no idea what Lord's Acre Day was. What is that? And Lord's Acre Day was you take an acre or more, or the first fruits of the harvest as you brought them into the granary, and you gave to the church. And they took in most of the money for the year that day. I looked at the offering that day and I went, oh my goodness, look at that. But it was part of the Old Testament tradition that they were following. You give the first fruits to God. They had great hearts. I love those people even today. They're just so wonderful. But here's the thing. It's your heart. It isn't the amount. Where is your heart? And I can tell you that the last piece of our lives that we give to God is our money often. We give other things. We give our time. We give, whatever to God. But often the last thing that we give to God is our hearts. And our hearts, is often where our treasure is. There our heart will be also. So I'd ask you to pray about that. and to ask God, am I doing what I need to be doing as far as giving the first fruits back to you? Am I trusting? There's the most important thing. Am I trusting you with the money that you have given to me? It's God's money, after all. Everything is God's. And we just pretend that it's ours, but it isn't really ours. It's really God's. And God has asked us to give a tithe back to him. He's been asking that ever since early Old Testament times, all the way up through now. And the question you might ask yourself is, why don't you trust him to do that? I think a lot of times we just don't trust God that he's going to come through for us and our money. And so we don't want to give 10% or even 5 or whatever to the Lord, even though that's what he's asked us to do. Karen and I started doing that a long time ago. Back in seminary, it was not an easy thing to do. We did it the chickens way, I think. We increased our giving 1% a year until we got to 10%. But once we got there, we have never needed for anything. And we've never wanted for anything that we really needed. And the Lord has taken care of us. And you know what? Haven't missed it. Haven't missed it one bit. So, there you go. The temple treasury. Jesus points out a woman who's giving a mite, not very much, but just about all she had, because she had a heart for God. And that's what God is interested in, not your money, but your heart. Have a good day.